How's it going? My name is John, aka White Light, and I represent something called the Constantly Positive Project. It is my movement for suicide prevention to use my story to encourage other people. Alright, so Constantly Positive as a movement actually kind of started accidentally. I've been making Christian rap music since I was a sophomore in high school, since 2004, and I never really took it seriously. It was just kind of something I did because I was at least kind of decent at it, or at least I thought so. So I've been making music so long that when I went to college back for another year back in 2014, I did a battle of the bands, and I had a lyric in a song that says, "Yeah, I've got CP, but really to me all that is official initials that say to stay constantly positive." So I took that, made the original Constantly Positive shirt for that Battle of the Bands, which was at K-State. So the first shirt was purple, just like this one. And basically I put that lyric on a shirt, and then a couple weeks later, my friend Molly was like, "Hey, I want a shirt like that." And I was like, "No, this is my shirt." And then I'd been going to metal shows, for the last couple years before that, and I'm friends with Garrett Rapp of The Colored Morale, and he was like, "I like your shirt." So I got him one, and I got Molly one, and it just kind of went from there as people kind of recognizing, hey, what's this phrase? What's the story behind it? So people would always be asking me like, hey, what's this about? So after a while, with people asking me about that and wondering what everything was, I kind of decided to turn it into a suicide prevention project to tell my story to encourage other people. So as far as what Constantly Positive is, it kind of started, as I mentioned with Garrett Rapp and, how their album No Hope, KNOW, Hope, is one of the biggest things for them, and their music being about suicide prevention. That's what got me started. And, I started going to shows, started, actively writing music about my story. And in doing that, also just being who I am, I'm very noticeable, for lack of a better phrase. People kind of notice me and they ask, "Hey, what's your shirt about?" So after a while of wearing that same shirt everywhere, people asking me all these questions, like I really realized that people are connecting with that movement. So I went ahead and got like 8 or 9 of these shirts made, different colors, exact same front and back, and then I got wristbands made to share that message with people. So now I have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I just use those as moments to, go to different shows, talk to different bands, use the heavy music scene as a springboard for a way to create an audience for people that I know need that message. So I'll go to shows, and a lot of people. I've got this joke with my friend Jeremy. He's like, if John goes to a show and he doesn't spit bars, did the show really happen? Because it's just so often that I end up being that guy after the show. Like, I'll meet a band, I'll tell them about my story, I'll tell them what it is, and I got this rap verse that really explains everything that it is. So then I end up spitting that for everybody else, and I end up giving wristbands out, and it just kind of went from there as far as something that people either connect with or they want to learn about. And then also, once I kind of got this all started, I've known about an organization called Hope for the Day, and I used Constantly Positive as my Be the One fundraiser for their organization for the last couple of years. And so me and my friend Liz have worked together to raise about a little over $2,000 for that organization over this time, because that's what the real goal is, to have a real tangible creation that we've actually contributed to another organization that goes and does real tangible things for mental health and suicide prevention. From the beginning, I made Christian rap music because I read a lot as a kid, and it was just kind of something that I saw people like me doing, and it was a weird situation growing up where I did and coming up with the things that I do. It's just, like I said, I read a lot as a kid. My mom was an occupational therapist, and she did this thing where she could read your lips, but she'd say what you're saying at the exact same time that you're going to say it. So it would almost appear as if she's reading your mind. But once she let it slip what she was doing, I realized that I could talk really, really, really fast, so that my syllables would change before she could read my lips, and then I would basically confuse her so she couldn't do that anymore. So I can literally attribute my rhyming ability, the fact that I read a lot, and then the accelerated speech patterns to my middle-aged white mother, because who would have thought you'd become a rapper from doing that? What caused me to actually make music? Because rapping was never really a serious thing. I had that delusion of like, somebody signed me, when I first started, and I was kind of whack, to be completely honest. It's cringeworthy to look back at my old music that no one will ever hear. Um, but really, like I said, I've been rapping since 2004. But it wasn't until I started Constantly Positive back in 2015 I was like, what's a good way to promote this? Like, what can I do to actually connect to people? And I was like, oh yeah, bars. And just like, so, I do a lot of acapella stuff because the audience that I, connect with the most, going to metal shows isn't necessarily the typical hip hop listener. So I got to have wordplay, and I also got to have something that attracts people on the surface. And people that don't necessarily listen to rap will still like, wait, did he just make a Beartooth reference in these bars that he's spitting? And like, so I get metal kids that connect with my music, and then I'll get these hip hop cats that might hear me in a parking lot. I had this one dude. He'd be like, "Wait, where's my notepad?" After one line I dropped, and it's just been kind of crazy how I bring those audiences together with, who I am as a person, my background, and just the things that I'm interested in, and how that still connects with people regardless of if they love heavy music or not. Is I want to be a motivational speaker. I want to go into schools and tell kids that it'll be okay if they find a reason to latch onto to keep going no matter what. Because at the end of the day, you got to give yourself until tomorrow, because you might find the thing that you absolutely love and your entire reason for living. It might even be a person. You might find that at 3:22 p.m. next Tuesday. But if you decide to kill yourself even at 3:21 and 59 seconds next Tuesday, you missed out on the opportunity. So even if you got to keep making that decision over and over and over for the rest of your life, you've got to keep going. And that's the message that I want to keep giving people, because Constantly Positive is derivative of my disability. I was born with cerebral palsy, CP. So I took the name of my disability and I flipped it, because a lot of people see this, a contradiction in me, because a lot of people see my crutches and they're like, wait, that's something to be sad about. But then they see my shirt and they're like, but he's constantly positive. And I always like to tell people that my crutches are my glow sticks because they help me shine. Right here is it's my whole life story in 32 bars, from everything I've been through to everything I want to do to everything I want to give to the people in the world around me. It goes like this. Rappers talk about crack. I can say it made me. 6 days old, ain't looking back. From then on, the white raised me. I'm good with the words, but your boy from the burbs, so the first two bars straight crazy. Disabled by divine design, and then look where he placed me. Broken in a hick town, no guns, but I spit rounds. Body moving super slow. My mind spit lyrics swift now. Mom and pops respectively, an OT and a teacher. Both would be coaching me. Now I spit life at your speaker. Could care less about microphones or how many minds I you've blown. Compare me to your coldest rapper, I'm at least 9 below. Back when I never rhymed before, I still had a purpose, even if it was falling and making random people nervous. I was attracting crowds, and I'm still attracting crowds. I step on stage outrageous. Nowadays, I'm known for acting loud. Someone say I'm acting out, but actually, I'm acting me. Hopefully, you're noticing I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Having trouble focusing, that would be ADHD. But the way that he made me displays in a way so they can see that even with these crutches, I am far from hopeless. I was given these crutches to shine. I call them my glow sticks. I walk on these crutches with a lean, but I'm no crip. The blood showed us what love is. Steadfast, no slip. Speaking of steadfast, that's track 8 on the album. Sometimes you gotta set sail that you don't quite know the outcome. This is what I'm about, son. Same shirt, different day. We all were born with purpose, so don't take your own gift away. It's Beartooth with a rare truth. Some of the best advice that I've been given. One life and one decision. Make sure it ends with you still living. I'm here to be the reason that you can finally find yours. Part of my reason for even breathing is just so I can rhyme more. The hardest beat I ever heard, it came from a heart that was broken. And every word is aimed to make this the day that you find hope in. Constantly Positive.